Likely murder on March 9th, 2022, on the 400 block of New York Avenue Northeast. At approximately 2:52 a.m. Wednesday, a Metropolitan Police Department officer was in the area of the 400 block of New York Avenue Northeast and observed a burning tent. DC Fire and EMS then arrived on scene to extinguish the fire. Further investigation revealed the remains of an adult male. The man's remains were transported to the office of the chief medical examiner, where an autopsy determined that the cause of death was multiple stab and gunshot wounds. The cause of death was consequently ruled a homicide. The man has been identified as 54-year-old Morgan Holmes. A suspect in this case, 30-year-old Gerald Brevard of Southeast D.C., has been arrested and charged with first-degree murder while armed in D.C. in relation to this crime. In addition, Brevard was charged with assault with a dangerous weapon and assault with intent to kill for two other offenses that occurred within the district. Brevard is accused of shooting and injuring a man on the 1100 block of New York Avenue Northeast on March 3, 2022. In addition, on March 8, 2022, Brevard allegedly shot and injured a man on the 1700 block of H Street Northeast. Brevard is also a person of interest in two shooting offenses that occurred on March 12th in New York City. In one case, a man was shot in the arm and survived his injuries. In the other, a man was shot and killed. All 5 of the apparent victims were experiencing homelessness at the time of the offenses. Brevard was arrested in a gas station parking lot in Southeast D.C. in the early morning hours of March 15, 2022, following a joint investigation by the Metropolitan Police Department, New York City Police Department, and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. His capture came after individuals in both D.C. and New York City provided tips identifying Brevard as the suspect. According to media reports, Brevard has an extensive history of mental illness and violence. Charges have yet to be brought in the New York City offenses due to lack of evidence. So if you have a tip, call 1-866-411-TIPS, that's 866-411-8477, or text your tip to 50411, or alternatively, contact the NYPD at 800-577-TIPS, that's 800-577-8477.